Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Manny here once again. Welcome back to another WNBA lineup advice video here at DFS Zone. And before I get started, like always, guys, I appreciate you guys drop a like on the video. And if you're new to the channel, never been here before, please subscribe down below. And do not forget to turn on those post notifications. This way, you do not miss any of my new uploads. With that being said, today is Saturday, August the 11th, 2018. We do have a two-game slate in WNBA today. We have Dallas visiting Atlanta and Indiana going in and visiting Vegas in Las Vegas. And before I go any further with the video with that and get into the actual games, no live stream, no live show today, obviously due to the games starting at 2 o'clock and then the other one being at 10:30. I don't know how many of you are going to play the main slate. Some of you may play the single games, but bottom line is I ain't going to have sufficient time to do that. I'm doing this video actually very early Saturday morning New York time, and you got literally about, as you can see here on the screen, about 3 hours and 50 minutes until game time. So I want to just get a video out to you as quickly as possible, give you the best possible plays I can give you right off the video itself. I'm going to leave you with some team stats. I'm going to leave you also with actually the players' statistics as they stand right now on this particular slate, the players that are playing, and that'll be shown on the screen in a moment, and you'll be able to at least go back to the video and take a look at that if you really wanted to check out a few more statistical data on those players and on those teams as of where they stand right now. All right, so let's just dive right into the games. So we have Dallas at Atlanta. We have implied totals for this game 169, with Atlanta at home favored by 6, at least at the moment. Atlanta's coming in second in the league in the standings at 20-10. They're in their last 5 games, they're 4-1, and in the course of those 5 games, they have played 3 games at home, and they have won all 3 games, so they're 3-0 at home. Dallas is coming in. They're the 8th seed, and they really have been struggling. Dallas definitely needs a win today. They're coming in the 8th seed in the last spot for a playoff spot. They're 14-15, a game under 500. This was a team that once was like 3rd in the standings. So they really have been struggling over the course of maybe 10, 11 games. So they come in 14-15, guys, and in the last 5 games, they are 0-5. They have lost 5 straight games, and one of those games on the road. So they're going to have to go in there and play the best team in basketball over the course of the last maybe 10 games in the Atlanta Dream, and this is not going to be an easy task. These teams did play twice so far this year, and they were very early on. The first week of the season, they played on the 20th of May, and then they played again on the 26th of May, and Dallas won both games. Now, Dallas was playing very well back then. It's a totally different story now. They're not playing well, and Atlanta is. Atlanta has found themselves as a team, and they are, and especially after the big win the other day without McCourtry, that was definitely very impressive. So Atlanta Dream is definitely on the way to being a very, very tough team in the playoffs, even without McCourtry. All right, so this is where we at. Over the course of the last 4 games, I like to give you these stats real quick. Dallas is coming in, giving them 49.5 points per game to forwards and centers from an average of 48. So they definitely have given up a few more points per game to the forwards and centers. And they have been coughing up 36.7, nearly 37 points per game to guards, with an average for the year at 34. So they have definitely been giving up close to 3 more points per game to guards. Atlanta, on the other side of the ball, have given up only 46 points per game to forwards and centers over the course of the last 4 games, and that's a best from their average of 49.8, which, so it's like 3 less points they're giving up per game to forwards and centers. And at guard, they're pretty steady at 31 points per game, and they have given up 31 points per game during the course of the year. First things first, we got Diggins Smith here with game time decision. We all know Diggins Smith did play in the last game, so Diggins Smith is in play. She is in play. It's just a matter, do you want to pay $7,800 for her? I say if Liz Cambage is definitely out, obviously she's going to have to step up even more so, just like Liz Cambage did when she was out. I don't think that she's in a good position to do that. Atlanta's backcourt has been pretty decent as of late, and she hasn't been looking that great. Early on in the year, she has had 2 good games against Atlanta this year, but that was way early on in the year. Like I said, the first week of the season, she scored a 42 fantasy points in 36 minutes in the last game against Atlanta back on the 26th of May, and she put up a 38 spot in their first game against each other in 28 minutes. So more than 1 fantasy point per minute. Very, very solid 2 games. But again, that was way, way back. She's not playing as well now as she was playing back then. I mean, we could take a quick look and you can see the numbers. Well, more so, I'm going to take a look over here because you'll be able to see it even better. Excuse me, wrong girl. Diggins Smith. And as you can see, a lot of red. She has really been struggling. You know, her floor has definitely dropped. I mean, we're talking about maybe even a 10, anywhere between 10 to 15 floor. And that's really not a good floor to have over the last few games, especially at that price of $7,800. So I would more than likely, myself personally, I would probably fade her, even if Liz Cambage is not playing, and then free up some value somewhere else. There are some pretty other good guards on the slate. Tiffany Hayes in play. I'm not in favor of Tiffany Hayes. Again, we discussed it. Tiffany Hayes is a good ball player, but she's 25, 26 to about 30, 32 on average. And, you know, even though she's in a favorable spot here in the 2 games against this team, she put up 27 in 32 minutes and 21 in 24 minutes. So pretty much averaging about 23.5 in the 2 games against Dallas. I am more in favor of going down a little lower in price here, and there's some, you know, Sykes is definitely someone you can consider. I'm not on Alicia Gray, so I'm not going to even discuss her. She's getting minutes, and she was getting minutes while Diggins Smith was out and still wasn't producing. So I don't see her as a viable play here, at least in my opinion. But Sykes is someone you consider. I definitely like Alex Bentley. I mean, Alex Bentley has been really, really playing well as of late. As you can see here, they're facing favorable, you know, defenses that struggle with guards, and she has been in the green 4 straight games, playing nice minutes, 21 to as much as 27 minutes, and actually getting more than enough shots in that time span. So she's playing excellent basketball. She's finding her own. They already have put her in. She's mostly running the point. So Miss Alex Bentley is definitely a solid play here once again. I definitely like Alex here for today. Definitely you can consider her. And when it comes to the lower tier here, Montgomery to me is still in play as well. I prefer Bentley $100 more, but we know with Montgomery you can definitely get some decent games from her. She has upside. She can get you about 30 plus, you know, any given day, but it's not consistent. So I mean, that's the only drawback. So Renee Montgomery could be someone you can consider, but again, the $100 difference, I'd rather pay Bentley. I am not on anybody else down here, plain and simple. I'm being totally honest with you, and I will share with you the game stats. We go to forward here. We got Cambage. Obviously, Liz Cambage is in play if she plays. Right now, they're talking about concussion. If she has a concussion protocol, she's not going to be allowed to play today. So just to let you guys know that. So what that does, if there's no Liz Cambage, obviously there's a uptick in at least being at least as far as a scorer will be Diggins Smith. But I'm not on Diggins Smith. I think you got some viable plays here. I mean, Glory Johnson coming in. She has been up and down with the minutes, but when she plays 30 minutes or better over the course of the last 3 or 4 games that she's played 30 minutes, she's been solid. She played 33 minutes here against Chicago, put up 38 fantasy points. Then she had a game where they only played her 13 minutes. Then they go and they play her again 30, and she puts up 38. And then all of a sudden against Connecticut, only 15. Granted, the Connecticut game wasn't a blowout. I mean, the game was a little competitive for a while. So I just don't get the coaching in Dallas, man. It's just scary. But I think she is definitely someone to consider today that can have a pretty good game against this team. There's no McCautry. She's very athletic. You know, granted, Breland is going to be very athletic as well. Breland is going to be the top dog here for Atlanta up front today. But just thinking of Liz Cambage being out, you can definitely consider Glory Johnson. Over here on the other end here, and Angel obviously being out is a big blow for Atlanta. Jessica Breland did step up in the last game, and I expected to step up again today as well. I like Jessica Breland here. In the 2 games against Dallas, she has put up more than 1 fantasy point per minute. She had a 31 in 26 minutes. Let me get it up over here. Miss Breland. Granted, they were early on back in the season. If I can find them, right here. She has a 31 spot in 26 minutes. All right, shot poorly. And this is what I always want to point out here at DFS Zone. Shot poorly, but she still got a 31 spot because she did all the other things. She noticed that she was not shooting well, but she made sure she defended, she got rebounds, she dished out the ball, she defended. This is where she's really big at in blocks and steals. Jessica Breland, definitely a solid play today, especially if there's no Liz Cambage. I think they're gonna have a tough time dealing with her. So Jessica Breland in play for me today. I think she's solid. Play Glory Johnson, like I said, no Liz Cambage. Glory Johnson could be one that could get 30+ minutes today, and she's athletic and she is perfect. It's the perfect type of player to go up against Breland and Elizabeth Williams up front. So I definitely like Glory Johnson here, and I also like Azurá Stevens more so than Thornton. I'm fading Thornton today. I like Azurá Stevens off the bench. I think she's going to get an uptick in minutes, especially, like I said, this is all if Liz Cambage is out. I would definitely be more on Glory Johnson if there's no Cambage and Azurá Stevens. And then down here in the bottom half, Teresa Plaisance is going to definitely play some minutes. She's going to probably be a very good value play at 4,200, as well as Kayla George. Again, this is all if Liz Cambage is out. Okay, so it's an if. If Liz Cambage is in play, I still think that you could possibly play Teresa Plaisance because she did play some minutes in the last game, and she did fairly well. But I would probably fade Kayla George. I don't think she's going to get as many minutes. Back up here to the top for Atlanta after Jessica Breland, definitely Elizabeth Williams is in play at 6,800. Elizabeth Williams is someone to be reckoned with, especially defensively. Steals and blocks, she's always going to be there. As you can see, 4 straight games with at least a block or more or a steal or more. She had a massive 43-point game here against Las Vegas. 34 minutes, 22, 5, 1, and 4. Okay, at 6,800, you're pretty much close to 35. You need about 34. It's a tough number, but she's been at 23 or better, which is her average. So when she's not meeting that price value, definitely look at her fantasy points per game. And as long as she's above average, that will not be, at least in my eyes, would not be a bad play to think about. You have to consider it. All right. So I think I think Elizabeth Williams is definitely in a good spot here as well. Granted, if there's no Liz Cambage, even if there is Liz Cambage, she's going to be all over her. Elizabeth Williams will do everything she can. They'll double team her, and they'll make it really tough on Liz Cambage. I could definitely see that all right now unfolding with her falling apart and turning over the ball. So I'm okay with Liz Cambage making the game and playing. But I like these girls here. And like I said, Miss Plaisance as well as Miss George are in play, especially if Liz Cambage is out. They're going to be the value plays there. Okay, guys? All right, let's go to Indiana, Las Vegas so we can get you guys out of here as quickly as possible. Indiana, Las Vegas, implied totals 166 with Vegas favored by 10.5. And before I continue that, before the video gets lengthy and you guys do not get the stats, here's the game stats for today's game. Granted, it says 8:10 there. I was doing it late last night before I went to bed. But this is basically the game stats. These are all the players in play today. And as you can see, here goes the point total. So you look at that first. Then you look at, obviously, all the green, which will at least give you an idea of how well they're doing in those departments. Considering you're not going to have it in real time, you're going to be able to at least pause the video and take a look at this. All right, guys? So I give that a few seconds there. And here are the team stats. Dallas versus Atlanta. As you can see, field goal percentage, Dallas 44, almost 45%. The green means that they are in the positive. They're the best in that category against their opponent. And then the tan color means that they're pretty even. I mean, they're even in three-point shooting, rebounding, assists, blocks, and pace. So very interesting game. But, of course, you know, then the difference here is two-point conversions. Most of their offense is comprised of the two-point shot for Atlanta. They only use about 20% of their plays at three. And it goes on, you know, everything is here, guys. Just basically look at it. I normally break this stuff down for you guys, but just to make the video as quick as possible for you guys, I'd rather just do that, and you'll be able to at least pause it and see it and look it over yourselves. All right, especially there's no live stream, no live show today. All right, getting back to the actual game. So Indiana, 5-25. They're 1-4 over the course of their last 5 games, and over the course of those 5 games, they played 2 games on the road, and they won 1 and lost 1. They did lose last night. They're on a back-to-back. Definitely a tough spot for them on a back-to-back. Las Vegas is coming in They're 12 and 18. They are still technically still in the race. They're 2 games back from Dallas. This is definitely an important game for Las Vegas, as well as that Dallas-Atlanta game. Atlanta does not want to lose to Dallas. They're in the 2nd seed right now. They want to hold that. And Dallas definitely wants to win the game because they're the 8th seed and they only got a 2-game lead even while they're slumping. So both teams have been slumping. Las Vegas has done the same. Las Vegas comes in 12 and 18. They're 6 and 8 at home. In the last 5 games, they're 1 and 4, and they happen to have lost 4 games in a row. So that is really, really not the way to go late in the year when you want to try to make a playoff spot. They had a chance a week and a half ago. It looked pretty good for Las Vegas, but right now it doesn't look too good. All right, over the course of the last 4 games, Las Vegas has been coughing up 50.8 points per game to forwards and centers, and that is actually their average right on the nose, 50.8 for the year. At guard, 37.8 points per game given up to guards. Their average is 34.7, so they've been giving up about 3 more points per game over the course of the last 4 games. So not too bad for a team on a 4-game losing streak to not be giving up more points than that. Indiana, they come in 51.4 points per game given up to forwards and centers, so slightly a little bit more than Las Vegas, and their average is 49, so they have slipped almost 2 points per game given up to forwards and centers. And at the guard positions, 30 points per game given up to guards, and their average was during the course of the year so far 36.2. So they are still 6 points better in that category. Here, hands down, Kayla McBride, definitely one of my favorite plays. Yeah, granted, she did not play well last night. The other night she did not play well, and I say the other night. The other night she did not play well. Put 17 fantasy points in 29 minutes. Obviously didn't shoot the ball that well. She did some of the other things, which is okay. She could have done better, but not definitely a good night for her. And it starts obviously with the shooting and making sure she knocks down some threes. I expected to bounce back today. Indiana is not that good behind defending guards pretty much for most of the year, even though they are looking pretty good as of late. They definitely came off a back-to-back. They gave up quite a bit of points to the guards last night. So I expect Kayla McBride to bounce back and have an excellent game here today. I think she is definitely one of my favorite once again here tonight on this slate. Tiffany, next you have Kayla Plum. Plum is definitely in play, man. You know, her price is high, but, you know, she's been good. You know, in this matchup, I could see McBride and Plum. You could definitely pencil both of them in, especially if you do a game stack. I could see where you could squeeze in Plum, McBride, and Asia Wilson and be able to get some value over here, especially if Cambage is out. So that whole problem is that you got 2 o'clock and 10:30, and unfortunately, it's not enough. You're probably not going to get any news on what's going on with Cambage at all, and that's going to make it tricky. So you're going to have to make a lineup. My suggestion is make a lineup. If you can make multiple lineups, make a lineup where it favors a lineup with Cambage, and make some lineups with, you know, no Liz Cambage in it, and you can definitely, I see where you can definitely get possibly 2 or 3 of these Vegas girls and put them in position with some value plays here in the Dallas game with girls like Carol George and even Teresa Plaisance. Okay, so moving on further here, so Kelsey Plum in play. She did only put a 21 spot in the last game against Indiana, and then the first game she only played 25 minutes and only put up 11 fantasy points. So both games 25 minutes, one game 20 plus. She is definitely playing more minutes now, and she's playing a lot better than she was playing a few weeks back. So I like Kelsey Plum here. I definitely prefer Kayla McBride. I'm not on Wheeler. I do like T Young in this game today, simply because of the speed, and she usually plays the 3. So that'll help out. As far as athletically, she's in a good spot here, at least in my opinion. So I like Tamara Young here, definitely in this game. She did put 24 in 26 minutes against Indiana in the last game, as you can see here. Definitely had 10 rebounds, very solid game rebounding the ball. And then the first time around against Indiana, she put up a 34 spot in 36 minutes with an 11, 5, 9, and 2 game. So very solid game the first time around, and overall in the 2 games she has played well. So give her the benefit of the doubt that she has, and I think it's more so because she is very athletic, and this falls in perfectly against Indiana. All right. What I like also, Indiana, Kelsey Mitchell finally, you know, I was on Kelsey Mitchell at the beginning of the year, was praising her how well she played in college because I used to watch a lot of her games, and I thought she was going to be a star. She definitely struggled with her shot, but the last game or two, especially last night, she played very well. And obviously she got the minutes. She got 25 minutes last night. She played well. Maybe they may ride her a little bit today, especially knowing that she is the #1 pick, just like I said about Kia Nurse the other day. These teams that are in this position right now, like Indiana, they have a lost season. You got to try to have these girls play. So I would expect them to play Kelsey Mitchell. She's young. She should be ready to go on a back-to-back with no problems. I think Kelsey Mitchell is fine play here today against a team that likes to pace up the game and are not that great behind defending guards. In Las Vegas. I mean, I love Las Vegas guards, but they definitely like to just go up and down the floor. They're more offensive minded and they're not big defenders, McBride and Plum. So I could see Kelsey Mitchell or even T-Mitch having a good game. I'm not going to give up on Victoria Vivians. She did not shoot the ball well yesterday. So Victoria Vivians, I told you guys I was on her yesterday, and she did not come through. But I believe today she'll bounce back. She's another young girl, another rookie. Only a 13 spot in 28 minutes, but she's been playing plenty of minutes, and she is an integral part of this offense. She is taking more than enough shots. She takes about 16 to 18 shots a game, as you can see here. She took 18 shots last night, only had 5. That's the reason why. What I didn't like is that I like to see her be able to do some other things to help her team. Because even when you're shooting poorly, you could at least dish off more balls, facilitate, help those who are playing well get the ball and get more touches, and she can go out there and try to get some blocks, try to get some steals, definitely get some rebounds. I mean, she didn't get not even 1 rebound yesterday, so that definitely hurts. So we need Victoria to get back to doing some of those things, and she'll be quite all right. So again, Victoria Vivian's in play. I do like Tiffany Mitchell, who had another solid game as well, and of course Kelsey Mitchell. That's pretty much it. I'm not on Pondexter, and I'm not on anybody else down here. In the forward spot, I definitely love Asia Wilson. Once again, like always, who doesn't? In the 2 games against these teams, she put up a 36 in 29 minutes. As you can see here, a 36 spot is more than 1 fantasy point per minute, put 24, 3, and 4, and she had a massive 62.6 fantasy points in game 1. 39 minutes, put 35, 13, 2, and 3. Nice lines. So she has big numbers against this team. I find it very difficult for these girls up front. I'm not on Candice Dupree. I definitely like Natalie Achanwa. She's had 2 good games against Las Vegas, and I could see the reason why she muscles up a little bit up front. Not only that, she's pretty agile and pretty athletic for a girl that doesn't look athletic, and she takes good shots from the floor. She's able to hit shots from the floor in all different spots. In the 2 games, she put up right here, Las Vegas, 30 minutes, 37.4 fantasy points, 21, 7, 2, 1, and 1. Nice lines there. She contributed in every aspect. So filled out the stat sheet. And then again here, where is the other game? Right here in 4th game of the season, 52 spot in 37 minutes, 26, 15, 2, 1, and 1. So again, Achanwa is definitely in play. I'm fading Dupree today. Even though Dupree is coming off a back-to-back, she only played 20 minutes last night, so plenty of rest. Both girls played minimal minutes, as I think Achanwa only played 10 or 12 minutes. 10 minutes last night. Come on now. These girls are well rested, but I think because of the success already, I think she's the better play. Her being more athletic, she's probably going to be on Wilson, and that frees up Achanwa to go up against Carolyn Swords. So Carolyn Swords is in play as a $4,300 play, but I am definitely loving Natalie Achanwa here. All right, and that is pretty much it, guys. I don't see any other value down here unless this game gets out of control, and if it does, then you can definitely look at Mavunga or even Asia Taylor or something like that. It got some time last night in a blowout situation. I don't think it's going to be a blowout situation here in this game again. So again, guys, no live stream. This is the best in a very short period of time. I wanted to get something out to you guys who are my viewers that are viewing the videos consistently. And then, of course, one more time, these are all the stats here from minutes to all the way through points, blocks, steals, overall average of everything during the course of the year is all here. These are all the players that are on the roster for these games today. And then these are the team stats, Dallas and Atlanta here. You can always look back at it on the video, and as well as the Indiana-Las Vegas game. Okay, guys? And that is pretty much it, man. I wish you guys a lot of luck today. I'm going to try to get my lineups in right now. Going to be tough because we don't really know what's going to happen with Cam Page. But again, I'm going to probably just fade her in this slate today and just try to I think that there's opportunity among who's left in the Dallas lineup as well as in the second game. So again, Have a great Saturday. Good luck today. Drop a like on the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. Sorry about the quick video and not too much information, but I wanted to give you something to go with. Also, real quickly here, these are the girls that I'm looking at. So 38 players on the actual slate. I narrowed it down to 22. So you got McBride, Hayes, Diggins Smith, Plum, Montgomery, Sykes, Young, Bentley, Vivians, Mitchell, and Mitchell. Those are the top guards that I'm looking at. And then we got Cambage, of course, Wilson, Breland, Glory Johnson, Elizabeth Williams, Achanwa, Stevens, Swords, Plaisance, McGee, Stafford, and George, the lower value plays. These are the 3 lower value plays. Loving Teresa Plaisance here, especially if there is no Liz Cambage, even more minutes for her than the other day. And that's basically it. So now you got my fantasy cruncher, my player pool right here. You got the team stats, the player stats, and the team stats, so you can always analyze and look back on. And then, of course, the actual games on Fanduel. All right, guys, again, drop a like, subscribe down below. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Have a great Saturday. Good luck today, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a 5-game slate tomorrow. Man, a huge slate. I got a lot of work to do later on this evening to start prepping for that and being able to see what are the best possible plays, at least early on. You will get a video for that, and then I see no reason why we don't have a live show. We'll probably have a live show. I think it starts at 2:30 tomorrow, so something around 1. You will get notification, of course, on my Facebook group page, my Facebook group, Instagram, as well as Twitter. We'll have the actual time that I'm gonna have the live show. So come on down and let's talk the slate. It's a big one. All right, guys. So again, have a great Saturday. Good luck, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.